Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sean again. This is my third fucking one of these deals in 24 hours. So
Third, what
I
was
did
two?
Facebook Live. I mean, it wasn't a cage
Oh.
live, but
Mm.
making myself look all presentable for wrestling fans the world over. I've been doing that.
Sean, you are a beautiful man. I just think that of you.
Somebody actually, a couple guys said that on the Facebook Live thing last night too, that I looked handsome. And then somebody, of course, had to tweet the Kevin Smith picture at me because I can't escape that.
I don't. Fuck those guys.
I mean, I sort of see it. I mean, I'm not. He's chubbier than I am, and I'm a fat man, but that's okay. I don't carry it in my face. It's all down here.
I don't need to hear about other men complimenting you, Sean. We've talked about this.
All right, sorry.
We're here. We're here to talk about a show that both of us liked, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too.
I enjoyed it quite a bit, and there's a lot to talk about with the main event. I'd like to hear your thoughts, good sir.
I liked it. I don't know. As I said, I said it on Facebook last night. I said it to you guys in the cage side orifices. I don't know if it's a good decision long term. I don't care.
Yeah,
it was fucking awesome in the moment. It was. I was more surprised at this, I think, than I was at Lesnar beating Taker.
Yeah,
all of our smart asses were 100% sure that this was going to be terrible and it was going to be a Brock win. And it was a Brock loss, and it was glorious.
It was a squash match. He was a jobber.
Fuck us. And I think, there's a bunch of places we can go. I mean, all the reports are now is that we're getting rematches, at least one, maybe multiple. Who the fuck knows?
Sure.
And that Brock wanted this. I mean, the report isn't clear on if he advocated for the squash, but I mean, he definitely signed off on it, and he wanted a long-term feud. You know what? Part of me thinks that Brock did want the squash because Brock doesn't like to work a lot, I don't think. And so think about it. Brock's last two main event matches, how long have they gone? 5 minutes combined, something like that. We made the jokes about how he'd show up just to jog behind Heyman. Now even for his matches, he ain't working.
Which is funny because it wasn't that long ago that he went 3 rounds in a legitimate fight and beat the shit out of somebody for real.
So he did his work for the year. He's done. But I thought he was pretty great too. I mean, he sold it immediately. He looked to Heyman. He was like, "What the fuck is going on?" The second spear, he was selling the diverticulitis. It was the whole guy named Jason's post today kind of nails one way they can go about it, which is Goldberg landed the lucky shot just like McGregor did on Aldo. I think it's one way to go though. I mean,
there's not a lucky shot that McGregor landed on Aldo. Is the problem?
Yeah.
With that thinking.
What do you mean?
There was nothing lucky about it. He took a shot to give one, man. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he executed it. He had a plan, and that's you don't it's not like he went in and wildly threw a punch.
No, I mean that's true. You're right. I mean it's not like he wasn't punching blind, but it was fortunate that he hit him on the button and it ended in 10 seconds. I mean McGregor had other plans should that not have happened in that match.
Yeah.
If he didn't put him lights out immediately, he had a game plan. So
I'm fine with characterizing
it went remarkably well for Conor in that night.
Sure.
It wasn't blind luck, and I think this is the same thing. It's not Goldberg had a plan. It was to not back down. And so I think that's an accurate analogy to me, but my point being that Lesnar performed very well even with what little he had to do and how he sold and the way he looked. And the glances he exchanged with Heyman, I mean, it sets up. I mean, you can write Heyman's promo tonight yourself, probably. So,
I think there are a lot of different ways to look at it, but one of the things is there are people who are, this is what they broke the streak for. Fuck WWE. It's Undertaker must be upset and things like this. And to those people are really mad. And to that I say, good. You should be mad, or maybe you shouldn't. I don't know, but I don't know how they want you to feel. But That's kind of ridiculous. Like and they also say it was just for the moment. It wasn't good storytelling. This is actually the most consistent storytelling they've given us in many years. What was the entire point of this? Beyond promoting a video game, right? The fantasy warfare just got all that stupid shit. Fine. But what was the thing beyond that? Goldberg was the only guy to beat Brock.
Yep.
They get to the match.
He's only the second person who's ever beaten Brock twice in singles matches on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. They get to the match, and Lesnar's just overconfident, right? They had the segment where Goldberg's like, I'm going to fucking rip your head off, and I'm going to do all these things, whatever. And Lesnar kind of backed off, but he looked confident. In the match itself, he's confident. He has no fear of anything that could occur to him. He doesn't understand that, what happened before. Maybe he thinks it was a fluke, or he's grown into he's godlike status, and he's been booked that way, to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Although they've been treading water for quite a while, and we can get into that in a minute. But either way,
even treading water, he's been booked like a fucking beast.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's threatened him since Taker last fall in a year.
He didn't, and even if that's the angle we take, this makes sense and is a good thing because it's Anderson Silva against Chris Weidman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although the age and role reverse, like Weidman was coming up and not like an old man who came back. But I'll get to that too. There's something there too to talk about. But he had no reason to think that anything would go wrong. But he'd just go in, he'd beat the fuck out of the guy, just like he beats the fuck out of everybody. And Goldberg, maybe, it's not that he got lucky. It's Goldberg is the one guy Brock Lesnar can't beat. Maybe that's the angle, right? Said he was going to do it, did it before, went out and did it again.
So then
used Lesnar's overconfidence against him and just beat him. Right? He's a superhero. Right?
Yeah.
Also, you and I look at Goldberg and we see a 50-year-old man who can't stop sweating, who can't
You're the
breathe.
one that's hung up on the sweating. I'm okay with the sweating.
It's excessive.
All right.
Who is past his prime, who's all these things, fine, whatever. That's us looking at like the real life shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't see that. They must not, right? It's not like he comes in and he's like, I'm an old man now. I mean, he just can't. I mean, he kind of did, I guess, but that's the problem with the reality era stuff. But he came and said, I miss being a superhero. I'm going to do it one more time so my kid can see me be a superhero. And that's how he was booked. I mean, it's like that. We laugh and joke about it, but it's kind of no different than Hogan. When he was on the stand, he's going, Terry Bollea does not have a 10-inch dick.
Right.
Hogan has a 10-inch dick, and we're going, does he actually think? You know what? He does. He kind of does. He said, no, it's not. It's the confidence that comes with being a guy with a 10-inch dick, right? Or whatever you want to say about that, So it's the same basic thing. It's that Goldberg, Bill Goldberg, the man, is 49 years old, gets winded easy. He looks great, but, he's getting up there. He can't put on a great match. You probably don't want to have him take too many bumps, whatever. But Goldberg, the former WCW champion, is still a fucking killer who is unstoppable and is fucking Brock Lesnar's kryptonite. It's that simple. And that's actually pretty good storytelling.
So, but the problem with that story then is, so you think they're going to book a trilogy and Goldberg's going to kill him again?
I have no idea. I don't care.
Right.
That's not relevant to what the story is right now.
Okay, but all right.
I also know there's no story.
But you're also building your own story into it. They didn't. I mean, again, that's the problem with all of
It's kind of exactly what they did. This is what they always said. Goldberg said, "Well, I beat him before. I suppose I'd come back, beat him again." And then it pissed them off. And Heyman always put across this is the one thing that Brock's always been pissed about, that he lost to this guy. He wants to take that win back, and he was way too fucking confident about it, and he got his ass kicked. But we've seen that.
The Goldberg superhero stuff, that's not exactly what he said. He said he's a dad. He doesn't know. He said it in the ring. That promo everybody loved is not, I guarantee I'm the superhero again. It's like, I think I'll try.
Well, he said, I think I have one more good spear, one more good jackhammer.
Right, he thinks he has it. It was not, I guarantee you. It was not, like you said, it's not, they're doing They're doing a reality era thing, though. It's not like the guy that's on ESPN is a different guy than the guy. That's the Hogan Bollea thing that you're talking about. They're not two different guys. They're the same fucking guy.
Okay, that's true, but
that
works better.
I get the Lesnar's kryptonite thing, but I think you're going to get a little bit of, as much as Brock wanted to get his win back, Brock just thought he was going to get his win back. He was overconfident. He looked past him. It's an old man, yada, yada, yada.
Goldberg really did have that one big spear and two big spears and jackhammer
right.
left in.
He had the plan, right.
And they also spent the build with Heyman fucking running his mouth about his kids and saying they're going to call Brock daddy. And when the angle was, here's the, I'm coming back to do this for my son. I mean, that can, when we talk about adrenaline, there are actual cases of, adrenaline will turn you into a fucking superhero, right? So you see a loved one trapped under a car and somehow lift the fucking thing up. Like, that shit's, there's a science to that. I'm not even saying that's what this is either, but that's maybe going a little too far into it.
What I'm saying is I think what we got here was, like I said, I love the moment, but we got the usual WWE, we're going to throw a bunch of plot threads at you. You pick the one you like. Right, you can tell the story that this is a different guy than the 49-year-old who talks to Stewart at, whatever the fuck on First Take, or you can tell the story that he's Brock's kryptonite, or you can tell the story that he got lucky, or you can tell the story that he had a perfect game plan. They're gonna let you pick. That's the way. That's the Vince McMahon way.
I don't know, because I just don't. I think that they don't see the same thing we do. We look at him and see the 49-year-old man. I don't think they see that. I don't think they think the character is that. I think it's the same reason Undertaker.
They think the character is all of those things, though. That's why do they present him like that? Why do they let him talk about it? Why do they let Heyman go on about his kids if he's just talking about this mythical figure? They brought all that into play.
In
kayfabe.
Well, we see an old man, right? And there's no business, in a scenario like this, winning something like this. Especially in this way, I just don't think
WWE does that with lots of guys. There's
that's what I mean. I don't think they see it like we do, where it's like he shouldn't beat him just because, like, come on, seriously, like that would never happen in a shoot fight. Goldberg would get turned into dust. Excuse me. So I just don't think, but I don't think they look at it like that. I think they have Vince being in the bubble, whatever. It's the same for Undertaker. It's the aura. It never mattered how old he was. It never mattered. It was never about him maybe being past it. It was always just, it's Undertaker at WrestleMania, period.
I'm not saying I agree that that's part of it, but I think some of it is also, they do care about making it look like a shoot fight. That's what the whole Lesnar-Orton feud was about.
That's probably fair.
They want both of those things. They're going to put them all out there, and they're never going to completely connect the dots for you. It's up to the fan. That's the fans' part of pro wrestling, is we can say, oh, well, I like this. I'm going to tell myself this story about it. And they've given me just enough to put that together. Or I want to tell myself this story about it, and they've given me just enough to put that together.
Mm-hmm. Well, and speaking of that angle, so if we take that angle with it, this happens in shoot fights. This is a thing that occurs. So it's, who was it? There was a wrestler, Sugar Dunkerton. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That is a pro wrestler, yes.
I think it was him that I saw on Twitter. Someone was on Twitter talking about it. They're going, in MMA, if this were to happen in MMA, everyone would have felt like they got their money's worth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They would have felt really good about it. Like, holy fuck, that was awesome. But somehow in pro wrestling, and that's again the fandom. The weird-ass fucking fandom that exists here, where everyone immediately said it was stupid because it was disrespectful to Undertaker, because how does it build to the future, because it's bad for business. That's a weird-ass way to be a fan. Like, I think we should just it's fine if you're that kind of fan. It's just weird, and I think definitely takes away your enjoyment of stuff, because you can't enjoy it for what it is for moments like this. And I was actually glad that I was able to. It helped that I had my buddy was here, Grubtub, and he's the kind of fan. It's like watching with Joe Rogan. Like, anytime anything happens, he's fucking screaming. Like, he was the tag match. There were so many super kicks, and every time he's just fucking, oh, he kicked his fucking head off. Like, he's one of those fans. It's great watching with a fan like that. So we get the spear, and it's house explodes. Another one that explodes, jackhammer and fucking do it. And then he does, and he pins him. He's like, dude, that was fucking awesome. There was no, like, oh my God, they're burying Brock, you know what I mean, or dumb shit like that. And it's like, wow, it's real nice to be away from that. So, and I was like, did that just happen? I can't fucking believe they just did that. How fucking awesome was that? It was legitimately shocking. Like, they don't have a lot of moments anymore where they can actually do some shit that blows you away. The streak, and when he did when he took the belt from Cena at SummerSlam,
Yeah,
which was also essentially a prolonged squash.
Yeah,
this was a legitimate squash. This was just hit my finish and pin you.
and I think
that's what we're doing.
It's interesting that those moments have all centered on Lesnar. For as much as people like shit on him about how his comeback's been disappointing and they're tired of him,
He's
and
the only guy who's
he doesn't draw money and blah blah blah. Yeah, but I mean, he's at the middle of most of the big holy shit moments that you can remember in the last 3 years or whatever. Yep. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's.
I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm not. I think that the fact that there's so many different reads on it is actually a great pro wrestling thing about it, and I totally agree with you. I've actually tried to sort of, because we have to, promoting ourselves and the site on Twitter and being Twitter personalities, whatever the fuck that means, is part of our jobs. So I can't, as much as I'd like to kind of just turn Twitter off and watch wrestling the way I did when I was a kid or in the early 2000s and just like get sucked up in it that way, I kind of can't. But I have sort of pared my Twitter feed down to where the people who are, God love you, but you're perennially dissatisfied, I'm trying to keep them out of it. And yeah, there's still stuff that annoys me, but it's fucking, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if WWE just happened to put on a couple of really good shows this weekend or really entertaining shows anyway, or if it was that change for me. But I told you last night, I had a good pro wrestling weekend. Coming into this weekend, I was like, man, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I can keep doing this job kind of stuff. I'm kind of sick of pro wrestling. And I'm sort of re-energized by this weekend.
Yeah.
Not because it was like the greatest show ever, but because it was fun.
I can't wait for Raw.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what they do. I said that's the thing about this finish was like, I was like, what the hell are they gonna do with Lesnar now? I said, you know what, this might be that time you get complacent in life. You really do, man. Like it's you get to a point where you're so dominant, no one can touch you, that you'd think you'd need something like this. I hope he's the Lesnar that came out, like I put in the fucking recap. I hope we get the Lesnar that comes out and is ripping car doors off and throwing them at fans. Like that, I miss that Lesnar. Fucking killer.
Is he there tonight? He's not on the.
He might not be there, which would suck. That would admittedly suck.
That's kind of dumb. Yeah. Goldberg is, and I assume Heyman will be. I don't know that for sure.
It would be a big disappointment if Brock wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I think then it would be, you'd have a legitimate, just as a fan to go, man, I wanted to hear from him. And I think they need to capitalize on this now. Don't make me wait 3 months. And if I don't hear from him for 3 months, I'm not going to give a fuck. Which is I think that's a good enough segue to get to the Undertaker part of this.
Which I don't understand at all, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't either. There are a lot of people who are like, so they broke the streak to put over Bill Goldberg. No. Don't be willfully stupid, or, turn your fucking brain on. You have that angle in your head, or you have that idea in your head, and you can't let it go. They let it go a long time ago. Let me tell you that. And you know what? We've had 2 WrestleManias since then. Undertaker has wrestled at both of those WrestleManias since then. That shit died forever ago. It was WrestleMania 31, and when they failed to get Roman Reigns over, they dropped it. There's no other, and they wanted to do it again the next year. They couldn't do it, couldn't figure it out, and then they dropped him down. When Lesnar was working the 5th match down on the card against Dean Ambrose, the streak thing, putting someone over, that was dead. That was gone. Yep. It's not 3 years later. Trust me, you're the only one still thinking about it. And that says more about you than it does about WWE. They've done the right thing. They attempted something. It did not succeed in the way they wanted it to, so they moved on. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the proper way to go about it. This is not disrespectful to Undertaker. Trust me, he doesn't give a fuck. He's making money doing his thing. Lesnar's making money doing his thing. WWE's making money, and they're making people pissed, and they're making people happy, and they're still getting your money. Guy complaining about how they didn't disrespect him. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, first of all, for one thing, I don't know that breaking the streak wasn't successful from their point of view, because they wanted to make Brock into a big fucking monster and have Heyman be able to say the 1-21-1 or whatever, now 23-1. And that succeeded. So, I mean, I don't know that there was ever a plan to put Dean Ambrose or Rusev or Kevin O. I mean, come on now. I mean, you're booking your own. I'm not crazy about Triple H's response, but how's your territory coming? Because
Exactly.
that's your own booking. That was never, there was, we can all say it would have been great if Daniel Bryan beat Brock Lesnar, or it'd be great if they finally gave Kevin Owens to Lesnar and he beat him. But that ain't happening in Vince McMahon's company.
It was always Roman Reigns, and when it wasn't Reigns, they dropped it.
That's it. Yeah. So they succeeded. Yeah, Brock is bigger because of it, and it will always be on Brock's resume, and that's it. And maybe someday Roman does beat him. I mean, that still could be in the – but I think, that's a whole different discussion. But, yeah, the notion that Taker would care, this was not like a retirement stipulation, the kind of stuff that those guys care about. This is business. And Taker is all about business.
And so is Brock.
Taker
just came back and was threatening to kill people and put them in graves. Like – are we really worried about like who gets the rub from that guy? If he retired, I could maybe see you having an issue. That's the only
way. Yep.
Maybe, but even then, and again, I like what in the Cage Side Orifices Reverend Kane had mentioned. It was long past the time to fucking rip the clean lost Band-Aid off.
Yep.
Let's get this shit. Like someone beat him. It doesn't even matter.
I don't like you said. I agree. I don't know if it's kayfabe or reality that this is going to be like a jolt for Brock to remotivate him. I don't care. I mean, I don't know if it's real in real life. In kayfabe, it's great. The fucking mystique is gone. There was no more stories to tell with the Brock can't be beaten story, other than more Brock squashes, and everybody was tired of the 5-minute Suplex City matches.
What if? Consider
now we're past those.
What if consider this? The mystique isn't necessarily gone, but their idea is the mystique still exists with everyone else, but there's a mystique about Goldberg.
Yeah.
And that Goldberg is beyond Lesnar's again. He's the only guy Brock's never got beaten, maybe never going to beat. And there's nothing wrong with that either. That guys have that in their career. Rich Franklin was an incredible UFC middleweight champion. And every time he even looked at Anderson Silva, his nose got rearranged in his face. Like he beat the shit out of that man multiple times. And Franklin really wanted to do it. And sometimes that's how it is. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. Sometimes you are the you are almost the best. You are almost the number one. You just can't beat that number one guy. And sometimes in life, you're going to try your fucking hardest and you're going to fail and you're going to have to live with that. That's just how it is sometimes. To me, I think that's even more interesting that he just got lucky. No, he fucking didn't, because that's not about what happened here. He no-sold Lesnar. Lesnar was like, oh, shit, all right, and kind of even smiled, gets up and gets speared. That was the plan. Another spear. That was the plan. Luck implies that he just went in and shit just went correctly, or like went in a way that he would not have expected, or he just kind of went out and all right, this worked out well. It was no, I have a plan. I'm going to execute that plan and I'm going to win because of it. Ain't nothing lucky about it. So I just feel like it's better to me. It's a better story.
I just think we have different definitions of luck. I don't think luck has to mean like the fucking lightning bolt came out of the sky. You can have a plan and still have things go your way. But I don't mean to say that the mystique is gone. I mean, I'm just talking fast. I mean, the mystique is still there, but it's different because
I think you're right.
And whether it's because Goldberg is his kryptonite or but I think you can now tell the story that other people can go, oh, I can beat him. Somebody did it. I watched it happen. It wasn't 12 years ago at WrestleMania 20. I was there. I was backstage. I saw it happen.
Sure.
So,
Now, to be clear, I think I don't think you're wrong. I think the mystique is gone. I think that's a problem of like the fans will make sure it's gone. And I don't want to. I don't want to.
Fans. I don't think all. I mean, that's again. That's what we talked about last time. I think we can get in our little internet wrestling bubble. There are, you go outside of that, and people love this, or
again,
they have entirely different takes on it. Like there are millions of people who it didn't cross their mind. What does Undertaker feel about this personally?
Yeah. Well, and it does. You lose some mystique losing a match like this.
You do. I mean. But I don't. But it's not complete. I don't. I just wanted to be clear that I wasn't saying Lesnar got buried or anything. Which is, you could probably find somebody on the internet saying that today too. So,
I was actually trying to just say that maybe they think that. There's a big gap between how we look at this shit and how the people within WWE look at this shit. Mm-hmm. And I just think that there's a lot of the people are the most vocal. And actually have influence, even if it's small, on how people look at this stuff and how they think of it. Like, I even got a text today. My brother texted me and said, they really just do that last night? He works super early in the morning, so he didn't even get to stay up and see it. Did they really just fucking do that? And then got upset as soon as he saw that they were going to keep going with it. So, yeah. I mean, that's a super casual fan who doesn't really pay attention to stuff like we do. It's good that there's a lot of angles to it. The Undertaker one's kind of dumb. I don't really like the Lucky thing, but you could go with that, and I don't think it hurts it too much. I like the idea of he's just the kryptonite, which is kind of what they've done, and Brock wanted the win back. I like the idea that this, you could never develop. That's another thing. You could never develop Brock's character where it was just final form. He was just he was God, and God doesn't have character development. He's fucking God. Brock is not that. You need to get knocked down at some point, because then that's right. That's the American way. You will build you up, and then when you're on the top, we'll knock you down just so you can build yourself up again. So I think it accomplished pretty much everything they wanted it to accomplish, and I loved seeing it. It was shocking as fuck. It's the shortest main event in a Big Four match in fucking history. Like, how cool was that?
They deliberately. When's the last time they went under the time they told us they were going to go under?
Like a half hour.
I mean, that was a huge. That had to be part of the work, right? It was like, it's 4 hours. Nope.
6 we were all pre-show.
We were all bracing for, they're going to do the entrances forever. How are they going to drag this out? Are we going to have run-ins? Is this going to be like Sting Triple H at Mania? Yada, yada, yada. And nope, it's going to be over in 86 seconds.
I'm pretty happy that to this day, our biggest traffic day was after Sting returned.
So let me ask you, this came up in my Facebook Live video last night. People were actually asking, and I haven't heard you mention it. Does this in any way sort of upset you that Goldberg, an ex-WCW star, gets this WWE treatment, and Sting got the treatment that he got?
Absolutely. As a fan.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm. Yeah,
I'm a monster fan.
When I think Sting fan, I think of you. So that's why people were asking me on the Facebook Live thing, because that's how a lot of people think of. What's a Sting fan? Geno Morasco is, right?
I'm just the biggest Sting fan. I love Sting so much. There's so much to love about him. And again, and to see the traffic that we got for that show, I mean, it actually wasn't our biggest traffic day. That I think about it. Finn winning the title. SummerSlam was our biggest traffic day, and then getting hurt and everything. Not that it was
some of that's where we were as a site when that happened, as opposed to when.
That's true. But
we were bigger, so.
Yeah, there was definitely a part of me that was like, not much, right? It wasn't like I was like, they fucked Sting over. Like, that's not the first thing I thought.
Right.
I was just so caught up in it. But later it definitely occurred to me, because I also saw that too and was like, they did fuck Sting. And, the Triple H stuff and why can't guys have moments like this? And you let them have moments like this for the people who are big fans of him. And obviously there were a lot of big fans of Sting. Sting's return was him showing up was a really, really big deal. Not that Goldberg's isn't, but Sting was he deserved better. Like, and here I go talking like that, and it's fully because I'm a fan. But he didn't deserve better. I wanted him to have more. And Sting too, as just a person. He's loyal. That's one of the reasons I really love Sting. Is in my life and who I am as a person, is that was his fucking character, but that's how he is as a person. Like, loyalty is everything in this fucking world. If you don't have that, you don't have shit. And he was loyal, man. He stuck with WCW to the fucking bitter end, and then he went to TNA, and he kept going back to TNA. He could have went to WWE. And yeah, they had some good reasons not to, but he was loyal. He didn't want to fuck these people over. He didn't want to do, he's a man of his word, Finally he comes, and it's like, treat him well. Like, it's like like my sister or brother or someone close to me in a relationship, and you're like, don't fuck them over, because they're good people. Sting's a good fucking guy. Don't fucking do some dumb shit with him. Don't make him do a job to fucking Triple H at WrestleMania. Don't make this about WWE versus WCW. Just please don't fucking do it. Give him the match he wants with Undertaker at WrestleMania. People want to see it. Maybe they say they don't, but still, at this point, it's the brand anyway. Let him have his fucking time. Give him a big moment. And don't let that big moment be he helps WWE win, or like he helped Dolph Ziggler or some shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Goldberg didn't come back and help Dolph Ziggler. Are you serious? Like, what? Well, fuck you. It just makes me mad.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. Like, just let him have his time. Like, of all the people to give it to, Goldberg, who hates your fucking guts, who, like, would literally, if you give him the chance, probably beat up Vince McMahon.
That's the kind. I mean, this is, and I'm totally mind reading, which I try to not do. But I can totally that's. I can see where Vince would be like, I respect that, and he does it. And Sting. I mean, but you always hear that Vince loves Taker's loyalty. But I guess Vince maybe he's petty enough to, say you were one of the wrong guy.
Taker probably also went to him and was like, told him he'd fucking beat the shit out of him over some, I don't know. Like, right. Taker's got his own little mystique too. So I mean, and that's us.
Exactly. I mean, which again is part of the fun of pro wrestling. So
sure.
I mean, exactly.
But does this hurt me as far as they gave Goldberg this bullshit, who was never half anywhere near what Sting is? And I was a big Goldberg fan too when I was younger. Yeah. I mean, that was '98, so I was like 11 years old or whatever. I was into Goldberg. I liked him. He had a VHS tape of him doing his own streak. That shit was fun. It was cool. I liked it. It was fine. But yeah, it was always Sting. Yeah, fucking. That's whatever. So I don't want to talk about that stuff.
I know. I just want a lot of people were. I actually had like 3 people ask me that on Facebook Live last night. So I wanted
about me or Sting,
specifically about you. Like, is Geno okay? What does Geno think about that Sting didn't get this treatment? Yeah.
How'd that make you?
Because I can't go fucking anywhere. No, it does. Yeah, exactly. I can't go anywhere. I mean, like, even we were getting the tweets last night. It's like, I can't. They're tagging me in it, saying I can't wait to hear what Geno has to say. Like, don't fucking tag me in it then. Tag him.
I love you, Sean. I want to hear what you have to say.
I know somebody does, but it does. It bothers me a little bit, but not that much. It's all because you know why? Because I'm like Brock. And I'm like Taker, and it's all business. I'm still getting paid even if they want to hear you, so fuck it. I'm along for the ride.
Exactly. That's the last angle I want to talk to before we get to the rest of the show. We've talked about, wins and losses don't matter, this, that, and the other thing, but I thought about it. Mm-hmm. And yes, they do. In the sense of wins and losses do matter, right? I mean, in the sense of both in kayfabe and in reality, how they matter is. Now, it's different now because of the way the payouts are structured. Contracts, things like that. But if a guy gets beat all the time, that negatively affects his ability to make money.
This is the Ryback argument. You realize that, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. But he's right.
I'm just pointing that out. Yeah.
So then how weird are we then? Are we not kind of wrong when we hear Bret Hart say, I was watching Wrestling with Shadows the other day, he's sitting there talking about, like, I can't go out there and submit to Shawn Michaels in Montreal. You might as well be raping my character. And I go, you're taking this fucking way too seriously, guy. Like he's a total mark for himself. On some level, no. He's a smart businessman. Mm-hmm. Just like Brock Lesnar's a smart businessman. So I saw this and it made me think, it's like, wow. Like, that's a big decision. That's a big thing for Lesnar to agree to, because you might kill his ability to make money in the same way that he's made money over these past few years. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same as it maybe used to be, but in a lot of ways it is. It's, if you're booked really strong, you can make more money. If you're booked like shit, you can't. So that's kind of a...
Yeah. I remember we had a bit of an argument about the Kevin Owens title win too, mm-hmm. which I think is the same sort of thing. It's like wins and losses and titles, and they don't mean. I think they both don't mean everything, and they do mean everything. Yeah. So it all depends on the story they tell with it, right? Which I think. I don't know. I mean, I think that's why I don't want to speculate too much about the future of Lesnar Goldberg, but I am curious to see how they spin it, because they can't still fuck it up. Because it will depend on the story they tell from here, like how they spin it and what it means in retrospect. Not entirely. We'll always have that moment, but the overall story isn't over yet. We got to wait and see, good and bad. I feel like the overall story is that Brock he has to come back with a vengeance. I'm going to beat him. I need to beat him. I mean, yeah, because he's still. I mean, and again, this is where the reality era, like we can't separate what we think we know from what we see on screen. But because he's still got a year and a half on his contract, right?
Does he? He signed before he
was. Wasn't it a 3-year deal before?
I think so.
Mania 31? 2?
Two.
Yeah. So he
Thought he was going to do UFC, and then he came back and ended up doing UFC anyway.
Right, because he's Brock Lesnar. He does whatever he fucking wants. So he's got another year and a half on his deal. We're not going to watch him just slowly get beaten until he retires in like a wheelchair. I don't think.
Well, that's what I was going to say. This is an interesting thing because he's a very smart businessman. Whether you can think what you want about Brock, he's big, dumb. You got a big brick head, and he's an idiot, and he just hunts and hangs out in Canada. But he is a very smart businessman. He does very well for himself. Mm-hmm. That he let this happen is really interesting. Maybe were promises made? Is he going to enter the Rumble and fucking eliminate 29 guys? Like, well, I mean, how fun would that be?
One potential is he just, he either enters the Rumble or he runs into the Rumble just to take out Goldberg, and that sets up their Mania match.
I like the idea.
The rumor is, right, the report is that Goldberg's going to be in the Rumble match. Not that he's signed to do, Lesnar Goldberg 3 at the Royal Rumble show. He's going to be in the 30-man Battle Royal.
I want Lesnar to enter the Rumble number 1. He mercilessly beats up and eliminates the next 9 guys. The dude after is Goldberg. He gets in, big confrontation, and they fight. And they both go over the top rope while they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
And then for the next 2 months, we just they cut to Minnesota, and those two are still in their gear fighting in a supermarket. They cut to
the full Booker T, Steve Austin supermarket brawl for 2 months.
Yeah. They cut to Atlanta, Georgia, and they're fighting in a country field. They cut to, right? I just want them to be fighting everywhere and never stop fighting. But something cool like that. But yeah, anyway. So what I was saying, I just think it's really super interesting that he would allow such a thing to happen. A guy who, they would not beat this guy. And they finally did, and this is how they did it. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm having heartburn. That's an interesting thing. An actually interesting, intriguing, where the fuck is this going finish in a main event, in a match that was heavily promoted that people cared about. They act like they don't. They care.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, you don't have to act like you care about the cruiserweights and then you don't care about the main event. Come on, nothing's changed. Kevin Nash was right. No one gives a shit about these, 5, 6,
not the way guys. Yeah, you're right.
You bought the ticket for the NWO, and then you were thrilled by Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero because it was a cool match. You never in your life bought a ticket to see Eddie Guerrero versus Dean Malenko at the open of the show. You didn't. You bought it because you wanted to see Sting run in. Or he's going to come from the helicopters. Or Hogan's going to be there with his weird fucking saggy man steroid titties and that little fat in between his arm and his armpit that I could never get out of my head, even all these years later. You remember that? Because he's on the shit and he was like so orange and like his skin color just moved to a new dimension. But he had those like 4 or 5 rolls on the inside of his armpit. Always fucked with me. Also, right near his nipple. Like, it was just sagging off just a little bit. Do some push-ups. Anyway. Yeah, so do we even need to talk about the cruiserweights? Actually, we do, because I think it's fucking awesome. He blocked us, and that sucks. But it's awesome that the future of the cruiserweights was determined by the biggest lumbering fucking lug on the roster, Baron Corbin. Like, no one gives a shit about you cruiserweights, man. No one. Corbin just came in and ruined everybody and walked out. Like, he didn't even stick around to gloat. He came in, destroyed these little shits, and left. And Brian's like, what are you doing? He's like, we don't need more of these little bastards running around, these little pest annoyances, these little 3-foot fuck sticks.
What do you think about
you either, fuck boy?
Right, exactly. What do you think? I mean, Brian's got all these feuds going with guys he's never going to fight. It's kind of weird.
I don't know that it's a feud so much as it's just like Corbin's way of like, Corbin is raging against the small man.
Well, the thing that I love about this is this goes back. I mean, this is Corbin. I guess this is part of his like shoot personality. The whole like the best characters are, your real person turned up to 11 kind of thing. Because I mean, this goes back to NXT and Breaking Ground. I mean, he doesn't like you should go back to Ring of Honor. All of you. He doesn't want you here.
Yeah, none of you belong here.
So that's fine. I mean, the cruiserweights, those poor bastards. I think. I think the 205 Live will be on for about a year, and then when those guys' contracts are up.
There has never been a show I've been less excited about than 205 Live.
I mean, because I just don't think they're going to do anything different than what they've been doing, which is – and I think, there's a portion of the fan base that loves that, And that's great, but you're a small portion of the fan base. That's what we've learned. Like, nobody's – I mean, this was a smart crowd, right? They're doing the Ty Dillinger chant all night long. They're cheering for SmackDown like crazy. They're clearly in that whole like Raw is Vince and we hate you, blah, blah, blah. We love SmackDown mode all night. And they didn't give a shit about the cruiserweights. So what does that tell you?
Can we also, like, I don't care if this gets me heat or hated or whatever you want to say. We love the CWC. Yeah. All 16 of you on the network watching it together. Okay, like, no one else ever at any point. I fucking run a wrestling website. I watched one episode. It was with my girlfriend at the time. It's because she was watching it because she wanted to stay up to date because she needed to. That was it. It wasn't like, ooh, appointment viewing. It's almost the same thing for NXT, people. You know what I mean? Like, it's you don't need to pretend like you're so thrilled and enthralled by these guys that they're this big draw to you. You can be thrilled and enthralled by them without, like, acting as though you're a bigger fan than you are. You don't have to lie. It's okay. You can be honest. You don't have to tell me. You don't get any fucking street cred as a fan with saying that you love the cruiserweights when you couldn't pick fucking Noam Dar out of a lineup. What kind of fucking name is Noam Dar, by the way?
Scottish Israeli? Come on, like, you don't know a bunch of Scottish Israeli people.
You know what I mean? So it's like you couldn't, and that's the other thing too. All these people who are these big fans, if you lined up every cruiserweight, guarantee they couldn't name them all. The guy's on the WWE roster, what's his name? And you go, I don't have Kalisto. And it's like, turns out to be Sin Cara and shit. Like, these people don't fucking know. They don't care, and it's fine.
I don't know about all that. I mean, I get what you're saying. I think you're exaggerating for emphasis, but because I think we got people in the cage side orifices that could name every cruiserweight out of the lineup and tell you what their finishing move was.
You could tell me their names beforehand, and I couldn't.
It's because you don't watch Japan.
Akihiro Kazozo.
Or anything other than SmackDown and Raw.
Tony Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think I
did about Asuka. Did you read what I did about Asuka?
No.
My buddy was like, "Is she Korean?"
Oh,
I'm like, no, she's Japan.
Well, I think it's a little. I think it's a little bit more than what you're saying, but I don't think it's much more. I mean, I love NXT, and I think it's not just like, especially at this point, it's not just for like liking indie guys because it's half TNA. I like the stories they tell, but I totally get. I mean, it's definitely, there's no disputing that interest in it is way down from where it was a year ago. So that's fine. Whatever. I mean, I still like it, so I'm not going to worry about it. But that's the thing is, like, that's the point I've been trying to make a lot over the last couple of weeks is don't confuse your little wrestling bubble and the 7 people on Twitter you talk to about it with being the universe, the WWE universe. It's a lot bigger than us. And we're fucking big. So.
Yeah. Are we?
I'm a big deal.
You're a big deal. Yes, you are. So big they ask you what I think about it.
Exactly. I'm the way most people think they can get answers out of you.
which is actually weird to me to this day that people care about, or they I can't wait to hear what Geno has to say, and it's like, shit, I thought it was hilarious. Oh man. Like, they want me to be really mad about it.
Right.
But you brought up Sting, so there's your anger.
You got it.
For the fucking quotient. That's
I will say this on cruiserweights. I thought the video package they did with Kendrick, they showed it on the pre-show and they showed it before the match. I thought that was really good. I thought that's what I think it's too late to be doing that stuff now, especially when Kendrick doesn't even win matches. He's just the champion because other shit happens around him. But I thought, I mean, that's what, the 2 things I think that are big problems with the cruiserweights is one is that they didn't bother to tell any stories with them. They thought people were going to be excited to see tiny guys wrestling, not tiny. You know what I mean. I'm exaggerating for it.
Some of them are tiny. Let's be real.
And the thing that I think Jason brought it up in one of his posts. Again, shout out to Jason Martin, is that I can watch Roman Reigns do these moves, so it's not special for me to see somebody who's 190 pounds do them anymore. It's a different world. So,
and so many people I talk to use WCW as like the template, and I don't know, whatever. But like, yeah, you were right. Like, what they were doing was a big reason they got over. It's the same Raw and SmackDown thing. It's because Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko, or Rey Mysterio, or Psychosis, or La Parka, just to prove I know more than those two. They were doing these high-flying, crazy fucking aerial maneuvers and just all sorts of shit, names of moves that I don't know. And then in the main event, Hogan was posing for 10 minutes.
Yep.
You know, Lex Luger had 6 moves total. Rodman came in, did an arm drag, and was the best worker in the ring. Like,
and that's a shoot.
That's a shoot. That's a real thing. So I'm just saying, like, that's true, by the way. Dennis Rodman showed up and did an arm drag, and Tony Schiavone acted like he was fucking the greatest wrestler the company'd ever seen. Oh, that shit's great. But when you have that, then you look at it and you go, oh my God, Chris Benoit's the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread. But put him in the main event. You know, because people aren't going to buy it then. Because he's not even 6 feet. I'm sorry. Brian Kendrick looks like a 12-year-old with a goatee. I'm sorry. That guy's not going to sell.
With you.
I love Kendrick. I think he's wonderful. He's the only reason I would watch the cruiserweight division. He's the only really interesting thing about it. And again, I'm sorry, but those guys don't sell. I just don't think they do. I mean, maybe if you present them right, maybe if all the circumstances come together just right. But even then, and don't use Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, because those people are actually fighting. I was thinking about that last night. The fake fighting shit. It must be so weird to be a wrestler. Like, they're in there fake fighting each other.
Yeah.
We don't think about that often enough. How fucking dumb this all really is. Like, I'm gonna pretend to hit you, and you got to pretend to be hurt by it. All right. Oh man. Oh, don't hurt.
I mean,
like,
you do. I mean, I do
weird.
think about that too. I think SB Nation tweeted something out. I think it was Saturday night. They tweeted out a GIF of the fake violinists playing for Nakamura and him writhing on the ground. And, you know, of course, anytime like ESPN or somebody tweets something like that, all the responses are like, you know, that's fake, morons, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? I mean, it is. It's it's weird that they're doing it. It's weird that we're watching it. I don't know.
And also weird that, like, those fake violinists, they're in there, and they're just fucking fake jamming the fuck out of the violinists. They were in there like, yeah, dude, just fucking getting it. Like, this is fucking awesome. And a bunch of wrestling fans are like, you're not even playing that fucking thing. They're not even playing it. What the fuck, man? They're not even playing the fucking fight. Are you serious? And Shinsuke's not really going to fucking hit Samoa Joe in the face with the Kinshasa.
Well, he might break his eye hole. We never know.
That's true.
That's why we like Slag Suki, because he just might fucking crash somebody's skull.
And Joe, who will muscle bust you, and you'll never be the same. You might actually die.
There you go.
Like, I used the 2 worst people to use in this example. Like, those are the 2 people who might kill you. But no, like that.
But that's even weirder. They're in a fake fight trying to kill each other.
What the fuck are we doing with our lives?
I don't know. It's really weird.
Oh fuck. Anyway, what else was there? Canaanite, our good buddy Canaanite.
Who made his return to podcasting last night. Everybody check out Tanya's starting a whole little like podcast empire secretly on Gage side.
Yeah, she is.
She got Kane in there last night with Fizz, so check that out.
Remind me to send an email.
You're going to be like Charlotte and beat Tanya down for stealing your spotlight.
I'm not real happy with Canaanite appearing on other shows. He's not coming on this one, though. He wanted us to mention Seth Rollins' shirt. He wanted our thoughts on it. So, Sean, do you have any thoughts on Seth Rollins' choice of apparel?
It's a good, no, not really.
Dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I like the idea that he probably went up to Sasha Banks' husband and was like, dude, I've got a great idea. I need you to sew 2 shirts together.
This way I can show that I'm about me, but I'm also about brand loyalty.
Brand supremacy.
Brand supremacy, baby. Seth freaking Raw. Okay? That's what I'm talking.
Or SVR Row, I think it's
Are they of the belief that if they weren't wearing the Raw and SmackDown shirts, they would forget who works for which brand and start fighting each other?
Wasn't that's what Booker T said on the pre-show that was what he told the SmackDown tag team group was Booker like, you need to be color coordinated. You can't be going in there with different colors. You won't know who to hit. Sucky ducky quack quack.
You better color coordinate because you don't even know you're twins. You're from the same mom. You both look alike. No, it's the funniest thing in the world to me that they like had to make sure everyone was wearing their brand. Like Reigns had the fucking. He didn't have a shirt. He had the rag hanging off his fucking belt. And I guess he got some heat for that online, and then his fans just freaked out. What? Just because he's not wearing a shirt? God, he can't do anything right.
Don't cross the Roman Empire, man.
They're scary. So's the Bella Army. It's the Bella's birthday today.
I hope one day Roman makes like a joke about the Bellas, and then we can watch the Roman Empire fight the Bella Army. But I think there's a lot of crossover, so people would really have to decide where their loyalties lie.
Man, there's a lot of 13-year-old girls writing messages on Facebook. Oh, boy. A lot of unfriending going on, some blocking. That's a battle, I tell you.
Oh, dear.
Subtweeting up in this son.
Don't. Whew.
Don't at me. Fucking Roman Reigns for life. Go Nikki Bella, really. I was pissed that she was taken out.
So who do you think took her out?
It was Natty in the hall with the candlestick. And
I thought I was so smart for figuring that out, and everybody's like, yeah, Sean, we all knew it was Natty.
Yeah, they're building a feud with Natty, quite clearly. And fuck Natalya, because I really wanted Nikki Bella to get in there. She follows us on Twitter. So a thing happened, not to get off this, but Sean, what are we going to do? Wrestlers are following us on Twitter more and more. I feel like I can't tweet.
Because you messed around and got verified. That's why that is. Nobody follows me.
Well, can I have your account? Because and your account, it's just curmudgeon at this point. You see how many people got mad at me for
laughing?
Laughing.
Yeah.
Like every time I put, did that just happen? You fucking marks are never happy. What? I'm real happy. Like you, what am I? How am I being a mark? I'm like shocked.
They can discern your mood just by.
Yeah, they just assume negativity. Like, why don't you fucking pound saying negative?
Well, in their defense, the Raw reviews haven't been really. In
their defense, I hate everything about wrestling. I mean, there's to be fair, I despise. I mean, that's fine. But
so there's that. But other than that, you're a really positive person.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to feel better about it all, and how I do that is when Goldberg squashes Lesnar, and they won't let me be happy about that.
They're fucking. Even then, they're ruining it for you, sons of. Man,
if that would have been Sting, if he'd have just came in and Scorpion Death dropped a motherfucker and pinned him, oh man, I'd come.
That would have been. That's what that Triple H match should have been. God damn it.
It really should have. I don't
know.
There's not a single good reason to do that other than ego.
Yep. Nope.
Which is weird. It's fake, you fucking baby.
Exactly.
Man.
Again, which goes back to just how weird the whole thing is. That they know it's fake, but they can still get their little, And some of it's business, like you said. I mean, Hart. I mean, we bag on Bret Hart, but Steve Austin does the same thing. I mean, he protects his fucking character. That's his career. But still, there's also some ego comes into it, and that's weird. Man, he's supposed to be an actor.
Yeah, and my life experiences of late, like, ego bugs me, man. Like, you fucking narcissists out there who have to try to look good at all times, like, you want to make yourself look as good as you can, you need to fucking learn how to just take some, joke at your own expense, right? Like, so Kane and I pointed this out to me. I did the Corbin thing, the recap for the cruiserweight match, Kalisto, Brian Kendrick, and Corbin ran into whatever. So I posted it on the website. Didn't even look in the comments. Kane alerts me to the first comment in the thread. Literally just some guy saying, "Eat a dick, Geno." See, you gotta laugh. I wrecked it. Let me recommend this post. Let's get it to go green so everyone can see it. Big and bold. Somebody told me eat a dick. Sir, I will eat that dick. That's a good one. Give me a dick to eat and I'll eat it. That's fucking phenomenal. I don't need to, you don't need to, fuck your ego, man. Like, I got to beat this guy in the fake wrestling match because DX has got to win over NWO. Like, fuck you. Eat a dick, Triple H. But also, we're getting a lot of hits today and we will sell out. So give me a call.
There you go.
Remind me to send an email.
Slide into his DMs, baby.
What else? A lot else. Actually, a good match too. The men's Survivor Series match I thought was really good. I liked the Shield reunion. I'm normally against that stuff, but I thought it was good. I thought Ambrose was fantastic, acting like an actually unhinged motherfucker. When everyone else was about brand loyalty, he was finally like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go beat up AJ Styles. I don't give a shit."
Yeah.
And then And then attacking the fucking security people, Reigns and Rollins. I thought that was a cool touch that actually got people pretty hyped. Not something you'd think they would do. And then you get the triple power bomb. All that stuff was cool. And then it was like Shield Wyatts, you know, new Wyatts kind of thing. That was really cool. Orton taking the spear for Bray was pretty fucking cool. I like that they're still going with that they've actually committed to it and didn't pull a Brian on it where they just turned him right away.
Right.
You know, whatever. Which that was the right move. But so it's interesting. I'm curious to see where that goes. And Orton was awesome checking on Shane's kids during the match. That was a crazy spot that thrilled me, even though a man. Do we know if Shane's alive?
Well, apparently he was just walking around backstage. I'm going to do a post on it.
He's okay?
No, I mean, so there's two reports. There's no way.
He's definitely not okay.
I mean, that dude, that was like, he went as stiff and wobbly as anybody whoever's been knocked cold in an octagon ever did. He couldn't control his fucking limbs. He was concussed, at least. But the Observer report is that he was walking around backstage with his family telling people he was fine.
Doesn't mean he wasn't concussed.
Exactly. And then I think Insider is saying that he was in a lot of pain, but still walking around backstage. So
because his brain collided with his skull. That hurts very bad.
I don't see how. I mean, it blows my mind that they wouldn't make him go to the hospital just for PR purposes.
And they fucking replayed it, and then they did a picture for their social media of him like staring off into the distance, and people carrying him to the back. Orton is like, "Hey," and then Orton even got on his thing on Twitter was when shit goes wrong.
Yeah, when shit goes sideways. Yep.
When shit goes sideways, someone actually said that it was cool that he went to check on him when he got knocked out, and he didn't say he wasn't knocked out. Don't worry.
Right.
He just said, "I know how shit goes. Your kids are there."
Yep.
Either way, I think it's
I mean, I just I mean, for all. You know, for how many like pokes the the mainstream media, I hate to even use that term right now, but like that people like have pointed out with their wellness policies and things like that and how they don't apply to part-timers. You would think that when the boss's son gets knocked out on television and screens all around the world, you would make sure you go through a full concussion protocol type thing and not just help him to the back and then let him walk around and talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's pretty strange.
I mean, also because I can't tell. I've watched it a few different times. It looks like both Roman catches him under the chin with the top of Roman's head. Like it just didn't go well. I mean, it's a cool, memorable spot, but it went pretty poorly. That was some bad luck.
This wasn't supposed to go. His head looked like it collided with the mat.
I mean, Shane jumps. I mean, he obviously jumps like he wouldn't jump for a coast to coast. He like jumps up. He does one of the Del Rio like jump up to come straight down.
Flying nothing.
Right, and then Roman's going up while he's coming down. It was not good. I mean, and hopefully, I mean that's why I wanted to see like that he had been taken to the hospital because that's the kind of thing. I mean, he could have like a fracture or something that you wouldn't even notice right away. Like you said, Tyson Kidd with that muscle buster spot, he walked to the back too. And then we find out later he could have died and he's never going to wrestle again.
Yeah, he was very close to actually dying. He's in massive pain to this day.
Yep. And he walked out under his own power and people were saying, it's a work. No, fucking go get that shit checked right now.
So did Steve Austin. Like he got up, they helped him to the back in the exact same way when he fucking broke his neck.
Yep.
Went to the back, he's just sitting there holding his head like, this is fucking weird. I'm hurting right now. Yeah, your neck's broken. Like he ain't never been the same. Like, and it's so weird.
It's not funny at all, but yeah,
it's really not funny. And he's too old to be doing this kind of stuff. I mean, Goldberg's old, but he kept himself in shape, and they're not asking him to do a coast to coast and get speared in midair.
Well, exactly.
I get it, Shane.
I mean, and that's not to go back to the Goldberg thing all over again, but that's where I do worry about like future business is if we're ever going to have a match where it's 10 minutes. I don't know. I mean, this was the kind of match that Goldberg could do.
Well, and I don't worry so much about that. I don't worry so much about like their ability to do a 10-minute match because I grew up in the Attitude Era. I know they can book a match and they just overbook the fuck out of it, and overbooking is not a bad thing if you do it right. So I think they could absolutely do a match where they don't ask him to do that much, but they can get 15 to 20 minutes out of it. They could do that.
Yeah.
The point is just if there should be a cap, dude. Like,
but you're right. Even if they do 10 minutes of overbooking, none of it is going to involve Goldberg leaping off of a fucking Titantron.
He's not even going to get near the second rope. And Shane is on the top rope after having gone through a table to put fucking,
I mean, that's my take on that is there's no need for him to do the coast-to-coast spot after he already did the elbow drop through the table spot. That's your big spot, Shane. You're fine. Stop
there's got to be a cap. If you're older than 45, you can't do shit like this. We don't want people to die. You've had people, shit. I just don't like it. Like, the Lawler thing should have scared him into not doing this kind of stuff. Have a match and you go sit at the commentary table and has a heart attack, almost dies. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen to anyone who's a little bit older. These guys are generally healthy. We'd like to think, whatever. So that's fine. But I just don't need to see that stuff anymore from a guy that, that was scary. It's not fun to watch it. That's one of the reasons I stopped watching MMA, because it's just, it's seeing someone get knocked out is not pleasant to me. Violence is it's scary. It's not cool. I'd rather watch them fake fight. Weird as it is, I'd rather know that they're not actually hurting each other, because it's just not, I don't like it. It's icky.
Except when they do. Yeah.
It's icky. Also, great was Ellsworth was killed. R.I.P. James Ellsworth. I hope we never see him again. But I did like how they got out Big Clown McDickum down with the callback to Ellsworth, and he looked like a monster that he was going to beat the count. They they RKO'd him onto the table, and then the flying elbow through it, and he still almost got back in the ring. Appreciated that. And then the one thing that kept him from getting in the ring was the man that Jericho confirmed is not a real person, but instead a man in a worm costume.
What is that?
He's a human noodle. As AJ Styles would say, the Dean style stuff was good. I thought they did a really good job with that match. They booked everything really well. Yeah,
I think Mark Normandin over at the Mothership described it in his write-up as a glorious mess, and that's what it was. It was exactly what you would think a 5-on-5 elimination match that had to go fucking an hour and 15 minutes or however long it went would be. It was all over the place, but they managed to work in all the important stuff. Everybody had a storyline within the match.
The better of Styles, and so he used the list and got DQ'd.
So you got so the list with the most over thing on Raw was integral to 2 eliminations.
Jericho just will not stand for his list being scattered about.
Nope. So he got caught by an RKO. Yep. So that you worked it. I thought the Ellsworth stuff was great. Both
the huge RKO to Rollins coming off the top with the splash.
Yep, we got another one of those. Yep.
Great stuff. Let's talk about the women's match. What'd you think about that one? Thought it was a disaster on my end.
Really? I don't think it was that bad. I thought it was pretty. I mean, it was all to get to. I mean, it was the whole purpose of it was to set up. Unlike the men's match, where I think everybody had a story and it advanced a ton of different feuds. Really, I mean, you got a little bit.
They didn't advance a fucking thing in this.
You set up Nikki and Natty before it even started. You have a little tiny bit. You just reminded us that Becky and Alexa don't get along, but it wasn't very important. And then the whole thing was about the post-match angle. So the important shit that happened in the women's match happened before the bell and after the bell. What happened in between didn't matter at all.
What did we learn from this match? Nia Jax is dumber than a box of rocks.
Nia Jax is dumb. Vince McMahon really does hate Sasha Banks and has no plans to ever use her in any meaningful way.
I hope, dude, because I really am tired of this. The Sasha fans are almost worse than the Bella Army at this point. And I fully understand I'm talking about you. And no, but they really they get mad anytime anything happens. She can get booked in a pay-per-view main event and lose, and she's getting buried. Fuck down.
I say what I said with a grain of salt, but
they get really.
It is weird that this was the first woman you ever main evented a pay-per-view, the half of the duo you ever main evented a pay-per-view with, and she just is not a factor anymore.
Well, the lack of shock at her.
She didn't weigh enough to break a table, so we're not even going to fucking pay attention to her anymore.
Well, it doesn't help her cause that she got eliminated, and everyone in the crowd was just like, huh. Yeah. No one was what the fuck? We're going to cheer for her the rest of the time.
That goes back to the wins and losses don't matter discussion, right? Because they do it. They have the power to tell you, don't pay attention to this person. What they do doesn't matter. And they've started that process a little bit with Sasha.
Dude, it is. That crowd was strange though, because it was like things would happen.
They were Canadian. I don't even know what that means.
They were. They were. They're not now.
they still are tonight.
good. They were Canadian. Like we can't. Don't say it too loud.
I don't want to offend anybody, but they were Canadian.
I hope they're not offended. Canada's awesome, actually, but it's funny though too because things would happen and it's like they'd look at each other and they'd be like, "What do we do? Should we cheer? Do we? Let's just shout 10. Let's just do that. Let's just say 10 a lot. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
and that's what they did. I'm convinced that this just furthers my own. That's the other hot take I'm going to throw out there, if it's even a hot take. Is the fans you can get over with the dumbest shit imaginable as long as they can chant it. And they feel like they're the ones who are taking ownership of it.
Mm-hmm.
All the big... Daniel Bryan with the yes chant. Austin with the what chant.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Dillinger with the 10 chant.
Don't call him Ty Dillinger. That's not nice.
I mean, it's... You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. You don't need much of anything. Just a quick, easy thing to chant, and you'll get over. That's just it. I don't think it's indicative that Ty Dillinger is like the next big thing.
No, I agree. I mean, I think he's a thing, but yeah, he's not the next. I don't even think he's the next big thing.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. Yeah, chanting is huge.
In wrestling, yeah, that they want to be interactive to the point that they'll fucking butcher Shinsuke's entrance theme. With the fake violinists. Yeah, I'm not even. What's funny? I tweeted that. People got real mad at me for that. I said Shinsuke's entrance theme is fucking awesome till all these fans start. I just had a seizure. Till all these fans start trying to sing over it, and then people are like, "Heaven forbid they have any fun, Geno."
Yeah, last night I tweeted. I didn't even see yours. Last night I tweeted that singing along to Sammy's theme was better than singing along to Shinsuke's, and I got fucking a bunch of complaints. I'm not saying
let's make them raw crowds that don't care about anything. That would be better. Like I'm not saying
it's great, but you're not supposed to sing along to violins. You don't go to a fucking classical music concert and sing along.
It's you don't exactly. Like that's not singing. You're just like making noise. Like there are no words. You fuck. Like they don't sing Sasha's theme. If there's one to sing, it's that one, or even Bailey, or like. They just hum the shit.
Or sing Carmella's like Big Cass does.
There you go. Do that. Like don't. And I'm not even saying don't do it. That's what was funny about it.
Right,
is objectively, I am correct. Like it makes the song shitty. The song is awesome. It sounds good. It doesn't. It's like you're in the car and you're singing something. It goes, who sings this? This person. Let's keep it that way. Shut your fucking mouth. There's a reason they sing it. They sound good. You sound like a fucking idiot. You have no tone. Shut up. You're not even in the right key. Please be quiet. Like, I want to hear the actual song. I don't want to hear you dumb fuck fans. Now, I say that fully understanding that if I'm in the crowd and Shinsuke comes out, I'm belting that shit at the top of my lungs. You have to. It's part of the live experience. I get it. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not saying to shut up.
I was in a crowd where that happened, though, and I'm pretty sure I started to sing it and then stopped because I was making myself uncomfortable with how badly I was doing.
We'll organize and be like, okay, which of you can actually sing?
Right.
Which of you actually knows what a vibrato is? If you don't, shut the fuck up. You're not allowed when Shinsuke comes out. But it's fine. It adds to the atmosphere. I get that. It's just like and plus it was a throwaway comment. I just meant it like, this entrance seems great till these fuckers start singing. Like, you're right. I'd do it anyway. And someone did that. Like, yeah, but you got to sing it live though. And I made sure to put, totally. I would do the same thing. Otherwise, yeah, the women, it's all about getting to Charlotte versus Bailey, and I guess Natty versus Nikki, which doesn't really interest me at all because Natalya as a character wrestler, pretty much everything I could just do without.
I mean, your girl Alexa is super over. I mean, she got big pops.
She is.
I would not be surprised. I would be surprised if they pulled a title change to TLC, right?
I love her finish. I love her character. I love the way she carries herself. I just love everything about her. Like she's just
her butt. I'm just being honest. I like all that other stuff too, but she's got a fantastic ass. So
she does. We can be real about that. She's a very good looking woman. Has a great body. That's fine. But dude, she comes out like she'll come out. She'll be walking and she'll look at some fan and just look at them like they are not even worth the fucking dirt underneath her boot. And it just gets me every time. Her disdain for anyone in her general area. And that's even people she likes, she treats like that, I think. And it's just, I just like it a lot. Her character's really great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to the point that I'm kind of over Becky Lynch, which surprises me a little bit. Her spiel, her shtick is just kind of played out for me. I don't know, the bubbly stuff kind of gets a little. Oh, you know what? We haven't gotten the chance.
I don't know
to talk
anybody
about
who's
this.
been over that for a while.
We haven't gotten the chance to talk about this, and people have been telling me to let it go, and I don't know that I can. Bayley, hugging and thugging. Bayley will hug you, and she participated in a gang beating of Nikki Bella.
It's all about brand supremacy, Geno. I mean, that trumps everything.
This is for Team Raw.
Even Bray Wyatt, in the end, is all about brand supremacy. He wants to burn the whole machine down as long as Team Blue comes out on top.
Changed. His goals are more singular. He's very. He wanted to turn Randy, and he did. He'll do a favor. No, but really, does this change your thinking on Bayley here? Does this change your opinion at all? When that happened, were you like, okay, I'm not a big fan of this.
When I saw it happen, I was like, yeah, that's a little weird.
Right?
It's not something that I have carried with me to this day, though. So I don't know.
I'll never let it die.
That's fine. I understand. It was a weird. I mean, I think you could make the argument. I think they could. It wouldn't have been hard to have booked her to show up and not been in the beatdown, and then when the brawl happened, then she joins in or something.
Yeah, she stood off to the side. This is a bit excessive, I feel.
Yeah, and that would have been fine.
They knocked her tooth out, Sean.
Well, I mean,
Bayley's right in there kicking her in the face.
No, Bayley ran in there and was slapping her ass. Go watch I swear, go watch the video. She came in.
You see that's also what's great. You look at the video. Sasha is in there. She's just delivering shots. Yeah. It looked like she's participated in a gang beating before. I know exactly what to do here.
She needs to be a heel.
She really does. But yeah, I'll carry. Yeah, I don't. No, I'm a hugger. You're a thugger, is what you are.
Fine. They made that. Knowing Vince, he'll turn her heel at some point anyway. So I'm not.
Hope that never happens. The tag team.
I am.
You're what?
I'm not feeling terribly. I don't want to be like a whole negative thing, but I'm not feeling terribly optimistic about
Bayley.
Anything that they're doing with the women, really on Raw, especially.
Dude, that poll, people asked who's better.
I'm not feeling really encouraged about anything they're doing with the tag team division on either show.
No, certainly not. I mean, I haven't seen Rhino eating cheese crackers in a while.
I know, and that is a lost opportunity. God damn it.
I'm not very happy about it. Were they chanting for Slater last night? They stopped the 10 chants to chant for Slater.
Slater was the most over guy in the tag match, I'm pretty sure.
I don't get it. He only works because of Rhino for me. Rhino's phenomenal.
He works because he's been a fucking punching bag for 10 years. And
just a force of nature.
Yeah.
The old double wide. Yeah, the tag stuff was fun. There was a lot of big spots. American Alpha looked like in the right setting they can be really.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, they can be huge, but I don't have any confidence that they're going to be that when we go back to SmackDown again.
Tag team wrestling is another thing that there are a lot of supporters of it, but I don't. It's not. It's a middle of the card kind of thing.
I mean, I really like it, and
it'd be fun.
It can be more, but it's hard to make it more, and so I understand why WWE doesn't devote time to it a lot of times. But I think they could. I mean, they could get more out of the investment if they devoted just a little bit more time to it than they do now. But
your boy Sam Zayn came up short.
He did.
Thanks to Mary C, who rang the bell.
Because they couldn't, because Vince can't go to Canada and not write in a little joke about his most famous moment. So,
you know what? I didn't even put that together.
Yep. That was the first thing I thought was we got to have a screw job reference, don't we?
I didn't even put it together.
It was on a submission hold. I mean, that's totally what it was.
And then I wrote that Miz submitted Zayn when he rolled him up.
Because you don't even like to watch shows you like.
that I'm actively recapping. Sean gets in the offices. That was not a submission, Geno.
I didn't know how to. I didn't want to call you out.
Let me know. Call me out, man. Let me know. Let me have it. I was like, oh my god, I did put that, didn't I?
That's a Sean. That would be a Sean. That's a Sean move right there.
Yeah,
spelling the wrestler's name wrong and getting the finish wrong.
Yeah. And Sean's very delicate about his typos. He's very.
I've tried to get. I mean, I try to get better about it. We don't have editors. We got to be our own editors, and I'm not always that good at that. So.
We're the editors. Is the thing.
But you're not. In an ideal circumstance, you're not your own editor.
Yeah.
You have somebody else doing it, and sometimes we have time to do it for each other, but not often.
Yeah, we actually have Canaanite doing that, and he's off doing fucking podcasts with Tanya.
I know he's doing podcasts. He's creating new features. The new you rate it posts he's got running all day today. He's going into business.
Star ratings, which
he's going into business for himself. He said you signed off on it.
I did. Oh, well. I was drunk that night.
That's not my problem.
What else was there that I don't think that's it, right? That's all of it.
Pre-show?
Maybe I like it raw. Cruiserweights? There were some.
What was on it?
There
was some flipping and Luke Harper job to Kane.
Yeah, Luke Harper and
What
Kane.
do you think? So what do you think? Looking forward to. Goodness gracious! I only had some cereal.
Are you
today,
okay?
It did not stand that well. So, what do you think the fallout from the men's elimination tag matches? Because Taker threatened to kill the SmackDown people who lost, but they won. So where do we go with that angle now?
Stephanie threatened jobs. Yep. I guess if Taker's back, he should be there tomorrow. Right? Yep. Talking shit. Don't tell me you're back and leave.
He should be digging holes and taking souls or whatever.
I was gonna say, is he gonna take Dean's soul? Because Dean tried to fuck this up.
That's who it never even crossed my mind, but that's who Mark predicted, and I was like, yep, that makes sense.
Also,
I don't know that I want to see that feud, but it makes storyline sense.
Why was this? Reminds me, we talked about this a little bit ago. But we didn't talk about the big part of it. Was why was Ellsworth's grave surrounded by a bunch of pizza boxes? He was thrown into a bunch of pizza boxes.
Cole said it was equipment. Is that where the WWE keeps their equipment in old pizza boxes?
There were a lot of pizza boxes.
Why do they have catering outside? I mean, shouldn't that be backstage? Maybe that's where they took the trash after the guys finished their pizza.
Was it product placement?
Oh, I didn't even. Well, if they did, it wasn't great for me because I didn't even notice it.
Whole lot of Papa John's. No, wait, that's Taco John's.
They should have had K Jewelers out there. That's their big new sponsor they're hawking all the time, which is weird to me. That doesn't seem like a natural fit.
Every kiss begins with K?
Yeah, but K, I don't know, do you think there's a lot of wrestling fans who are like, man, I am in the market for some jewelry, but I don't know where to go?
Yeah. That's a very...
Thank you, WWE Network. I'll go.
I was sitting here with GrubTub, and he's just we're watching the show, and he's just like, man, Geno, I am in the market for some jewelry. I just don't know where to go. Thankfully, WWE came on and said every kiss begins with K.
I've been wanting to get you a friendship bracelet for Christmas, but I just don't know where one would get such a thing.
Oh shit! Yeah. No, are we going to get Undertaker Ambrose? God damn, I hope.
I hope not either, but it's the only one that makes sense, right? I mean,
please no.
We already had Taker Shane, and in between digging holes and taking souls, Undertaker gave him a job endorsement. Like, yep. If anyone should be commissioner of SmackDown, it's Shane McMahon. Like, what the fuck? Why do you care? What does that mean?
I'm going to dip the brim of my hat and smoke another cigarette.
Oh.
Suddenly I'm Batman.
I have 2 plastic hips, and I am back.
Dean Ambrose. You're the safest worker, so you get the match. The recovery clothesline's stupid, and I'm going to big boot your ass, though. You see Nia Jax did the recovery clothesline? That was awesome. That shows how bad it is. She's dumber than Box of Rocks doing the same fucking stuff. So is he, really.
Dean's dumb, too. Yeah, I mean,
Dean's dumber shit.
Dean's been established many times over. So is Stephanie going to fire Seth to recant?
Yeah, what's she going to do? That's another angle. What's Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho going to... Wait, we already know the matches for Roadblock.
Roadblock, end of the line.
End of the line. You've reached the... I'm still calling it WWE traffic stop.
because Takeover Brooklyn... What is it called? Takeover back to Brooklyn 2, or the other one, Takeover the end of the beginning.
I think they changed the end of the beginning. Or they did that after. Take over the end. ... Wait, there's gonna be more. Wait till the event's over.
It's
Like,
big. The big
fuck you,
reveal.
Triple H. Also, I think it's great that, let's put over our site real quick. Triple H, for all his goodwill, still lost to Bruno Sammartino in round 1 of the Greatest Wrestler tournament, which is not even really a Greatest. I should have named it something else because people get really weird about shit.
Oh, I don't even like to go in there. I voted in a few of them if I feel strongly enough, but it's the whole thing. People take it way too seriously.
I conned Decker into doing the counting, so I didn't have to go in there. Is what happened. So I think that's it for this show.
You have ruined the credibility of the Greatest Wrestler tournament. That's all.
I mean, if you're talking about credibility and pro wrestling in the same sentence, you should just stop.
That's true. That's a good point.
Don't finish whatever it was you're going to say, and the next time you have a thought, don't. I'm excited for Raw. I'm actually feeling good about pro wrestling right now. I watched TakeOver Toronto. Mickey, it was good to see Mickey James. I'm a big Mickey James fan. Asuka, Japan.
Representing Japan well, absolutely. So
missed out on the. I actually missed out on most of the main event because my internet was being a piece of shit.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, it was a good show. Even
it was fun. Like I said, it was a fun weekend of wrestling. So we'll see. I mean, Raw will probably beat that goodwill out of us by about. But that's okay.
15 minutes in, it'll be just Steph and Mick Foley. By the way,
if it starts with Stephanie and Mick Foley in the ring addressing the troops, I'm gonna be pissed.
He's good at it, but I am so tired of Mick Foley fired up feelings promos. Like, Mick Foley has feelings is entirely too much. That's too much of the story on Raw.
It is.
It really is, dude. Like, as soon as he starts, if he raises his voice during a promo, you just know you're in for a Foley feelings ride. And I just can't handle any more of it. I don't want it anymore, dude. I was over it when he pulled that bullshit on Charlotte and fucking Sasha.
Oh, that was horrible, yeah.
Oh, my God, dude.
I think I've started tuning it out since then. Well, it's that, and Daniel Bryan is an insufferable little prick. That's what goes on in SmackDown. So,
assholes! Everyone if you're in authority position, we will hate you no matter what you do.
I mean,
although the Foley stuff that did lead to the best tweets in the Cage Side Twitter history with Sasha and Charlotte. And I still laugh at I laugh at my own shit sometimes. I still laugh at those tweets. All right, that's that. We're looking forward to Raw. We'll be back tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning.
Maybe we will. I don't know. I'm not crazy about these new Big 4 weekends. I am fucking tired. But
do I need to find a replacement? I can find someone.
Oh, I know you can. You won't even tell me about it. You just plug them in. I don't know. Whatever. And then hit me up and ask for a graphic.
I
know how it is.
That was your day off, and I asked you to do something.
I would have liked to have talked to Trina. That's all. I've never talked to Trina, and you took that away from me. But
here's the thing. Trina said she was going to put me over endlessly, and I didn't want you to get in the way of that. You would have stopped her from doing it.
I know. That's true.
So yeah, true. But she's big time, man. She's gonna be too big for us here soon.
Oh, I know. She can be another person who will tell me that one day they'll get me to be a guest on their podcast, and then it'll never happen. Stella Cheeks, Aaron Klein.
they better than bringing you on and turning your mic all the way down, like having a whole conversation.
Those ladies, man, they are savvy political players. They know how to bury our asses.
Liars is what they are.
God damn it! Feud.
Couple of liars. There's no feud to squash in our favor.
We're
Goldberg and they're Brock Lesnar.
Cup of haters.
You know what, Stella Cheeks? You're no longer stunning.
Whoa!
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Holy shit!